Marty here with warehouse and operations as a career. I hope everyone's had a prosperous, safe, and productive week so far. You may be noticing quite a bit of activity out in your warehouses over the next 2 weeks. Inventory control may be finishing up with those yearly cycle counts. Oh, and several industries will be experiencing those last-minute audits on sanitation programs and customer reviews of their products. And we've been busy here at WAOC as well. I'm really excited about our next couple of programs. Next week, we plan on having a few great guests on the show to discuss their planning and goals and share their advancements that they achieved over 2018. The following week, it's looking like we'll be talking with our old WAOC gang for our fourth quarter roundtable too. There I go getting all sidetracked again. But be sure to plan on checking in with us next week. I think you'll enjoy all of our guests. Okay, so I was working with a few individuals this week. They were all existing employees, and all three of them was asking me who they needed to go see about changing something in HR. One of the gentlemen had a baby and was asking about open enrollment and what that really meant. He was needing to, of course, add his new daughter to his insurance. Two other associates had asked me about changing their W-4s or adjusting all of their tax information. I wasn't much help to any of them, but I was able to get them pointed in the right direction and get them all some help. You know, I hadn't thought much about it, but it is that time of year. This is when we should make any adjustments with our benefits and deductions. It all goes along with our 2019 planning and goals. So we've probably all heard about open enrollment over the last month or so. You know, open enrollment is usually about our health insurance. It's that one time each year that we can make adjustments to our policies for absolutely no reason at all. Throughout the year, and there's a few exceptions I guess, but usually it takes a life change of some sort to change our policy. Something along the lines of maybe a childbirth, a loss of a family member, maybe divorce or a marriage, something along those lines. But open enrollment, we can easily decrease or increase our coverage and make those kinds of changes. You know, one time I had an employee working for me that fell into the old open enrollment trap. He had had a baby in like June and just never thought of letting HR know. And there was something like a 30-day grace period that he just missed. He was told in August that he'd need to add him, during that year's open enrollment. Well, he forgot to make those changes in December, and it was the following year before his daughter could be added to his insurance. In most instances, there's honestly nobody that can help us. Even our employers may not be able to intervene on our behalf. I actually tried everything. I spoke with my corporate office and the insurance rep for our company, but wasn't able to get the rules bent even a little. Another thing we may want to look at is our weekly deductions. Things like the number of dependents that we claim, maybe our direct deposits. We should probably look at increasing the dollar amount that we send to savings each week. Think of all this as an opportunity to get things in order at the end of the year. If you have any concerns or questions, I'm certain your HR department can probably help you out. We've talked a whole lot about how important our onboarding and new employee orientations are, how we need to be prepared to have all this information with us, especially our insurance needs and deductions. Have everything all together. It's just a little bit of that employee responsibility. Our responsibilities as new associates to our employers and our families. Speaking of being a new employee, I was speaking with a gentleman out on the floor last week about his new job. He'd only been working for 3 days and was really still in training. I think we all know that queasy feeling that, we get with being the new guy. Not only have we walked into a place that we've never been in before, maybe we've never even been in a warehouse before. Here we are seeing all this equipment darting around and, we're being introduced to a lot of people that know what they're doing already. And here we are, knowing no one and probably not sure what we've signed on for. It's so important that our supervisor or trainer gives us a really good orientation, introduces us to everyone, shows us around, and tells us all the rules and procedures. A lot of the time, all that can make us feel a little better those first few days. I'm a big believer in orientation and training. I also believe there's absolutely nothing wrong with asking questions, even kind of prodding our way through a good orientation. I'm just going to be honest for a second. Some supervisors may lack the skills to be that welcoming agent, or he or she may expect us to know more about the task than what we actually do. I think that orientation and training we should be getting is so important that if we feel it's lacking, we need to let somebody know that. Our supes and trainers want us to succeed. They need the help. That's really why they hired us. Of the hundreds of supervisors and trainers that I've known through the years, I can honestly share that I've never heard one of them talk about a new boot that has asked too many questions about their orientation or how to do their job. I have, on the other hand, experienced many new hires that were terminated, or those that just quit showing up because they didn't ask the questions necessary to know their procedures or how to do those jobs. I've always felt it's perfectly fine to ask to be introduced to people, ask to be shown around. It's cool to ask what each department does as we're walking by them. Let's bring up the safety procedures, evacuation routes, SDS stations, if those things aren't explained to us. Remember, we have our new bosses or trainers' attention right now. We may not have this much one-on-one attention for quite a while. Let's make sure we understand everything we need to know so we'll be successful. Another thing I think about every time I'm working with a new associate is how can I make them feel that they fit in with the team? You know, work is work. It's not a social club or high school. Yes, we need to get along with everyone, but we don't have to be friends with everyone. As employees, we should make an effort and see to it that our newer employees feel welcomed. We were all the new boot once. Remember, we need someone to take our place, someone that can do the job at least as good as we can, if not better, before we can move on to another position ourselves. And on the other side, we as that new hire need to remember, although we may have 10 years of experience doing the task we were hired for, we don't have that experience in this building or with this team. It's our responsibility to learn from them and not go into it trying to teach them a better way of doing something. You know, it's hard being that tenured associate, boss, or trainer, but it's even harder being that new hire. I've found that having an open mind, being friendly, and sharing our experiences with others will make us all successful and prosperous employees. Speaking of success, is anyone happy and content where they're at? Making the money that you want, you don't need anymore? Are you pleased to retire from your present position? If you answered yes to those 3 questions, I'm very proud for you. And that's absolutely fine. If you're doing exactly what you love doing and you look forward to accomplishing your task each day, you've made it, in my opinion. But if you answered no to all 3 of those questions, you're in the perfect time of the year to plan out our next move. WAOC is all about advancement and moving through all the warehousing and transportation tasks, from general labor to the president of your own corporation. I've always thought the end of the year is my time to reflect on what I've accomplished, where I may have failed, where I want to be this time next year, and what I need to do to get there. Be sure to think it through, ladies and gentlemen. In this industry, you can earn as much as you want and grow within your companies as far as you'd like to go. I'm living proof of that, as well as many of our guests that we've had on the show this year. We wanted it, planned for it, and accomplished it. You know, you've got to love our industry and operations. I think it's the best job there is. You have the best position there is, until, of course, your next position. Well, the year's wrapping up, and so is this episode of Warehouse and Operations as a Career. I hope you enjoyed it, and we appreciate you listening in. Please email us at host@warehouseandoperationsasacareer.com if you have any questions about something that we talked about today, or if you have a topic that you'd like to know more about. I so enjoy researching and learning, especially when it's something that we can all share together. And don't forget about our Facebook and Twitter feeds, using that little @ sign, WHSEANDOPS. And we're in and out of there all week long. Until next week, let's help out a new boot. And as always, be safe. Let's share a safety thought with a new hire this week.